Hello. Hello everybody. How's it going? Um there's so many things that I want to talk about, so I'm going to try to be brief with everything. But I haven't been doing as much on here cuz I had been a little ill, a little under the weather. But also I had it's getting to the point where instead of there's just two things you don't talk about with people. There's three things you don't talk about with people. So it used to be that, you know, in order to like be able to have good conversations with everybody, you don't talk about religion or politics. Well, now it's you don't talk about religion, politics, and comic books, and it's really it's really frustrating because one of one of my escapist joys, okay, over the years has been being able to read a comic book or just pick up a trade paperback or a comic and just read a comic and get lost for a little bit, you know, follow the adventure of someone. And I'm just really kind of let down, I guess you could say. Um, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I can't believe how intense conversations can get when you're talking about whether you like or dislike Tom King's run on Batman. Like, I've been in quite a few conversations on forums and stuff where things get out of hand really quick. And it makes me think about like why I'm arguing in the first place. Like, what is the purpose of this? Why am I complaining about this? And for those of you who don't know, Tom King's run, okay, started with Rebirth. And when I first heard, like, oh, Tom King's going to be doing a run that is 100 issues and it's going to be like a huge arc, I was like, yes, please give it to me. Like, that is exactly what I want. And as it went, it was exciting and exciting. So you had the I Am Gotham, I Am Suicide. You had all these like mini arcs within the huge arc that seemed okay. It was like I feel like everyone, including myself, was just like, well, this is going somewhere. So let's not judge too harshly too quickly. And I'm trying to think if there's ever been another writer who was given that kind of leeway for this long a time. Because I swear to God, if I just can't think of anything. Well, anyway, so back to this. I even liked the War of Jokes and Riddles, which a lot of people who fell off of the Tom King Batman run, I think that was the first that was the first area where people were like, screw this, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to sit through years of this storytelling. Because, like, when you think about it, like, Horror Jokes and Riddles was basically a year long. It wasn't quite a year. It probably was only like 6 months because they were double shipping. It was kind of like an exercise in patience because the whole 6 months, or like, I think it was like 10 or 11 issues, if I remember correctly, was Batman in bed with Catwoman telling her like a horrible secret that he had. And instead of just like saying, oh yeah, I did this thing and I wasn't too happy with myself about it, he's like, let me paint the picture for you. And spent like 11 or 10 or 11 or 12 issues like elaborating on the backstory as to why. Now that didn't bother me as much as it bothered a lot of people, and I know a lot of people didn't like his take on Riddler, which I don't mind, but whatever. Then, when the Rules of Engagement storyline was going on, I was just stoked on the Joelle Jones artwork, so I was kind of like, just, yes, please give me more. But then there were these weird issues of like double dates with Superman and Lois Lane, and him getting like stuck in another dimension with Wonder Woman for like 10 years in that dimension time, but here it was only like a few minutes or something like that. Just like a bunch of like just head scratching stuff. And then the wedding, and everyone was excited about the wedding. And then, as DC does what DC does, they leaked what was going to happen at the wedding to like a non-comic book website to try to get like yay, thumbs up from like mainstream society, and that was stupid. And then there were these prelude books that had a lot of interesting stuff in them that a lot of people hated, that ended up having nothing to do with continuity. And I don't know if that's a Tom King problem or if that's a DC editorial problem, but like, if the conversation was people wrote stuff for the prelude to the wedding or whatever, and Tom King's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna play with other kids with my toys. These are my toys. I'm not gonna play with them. That's annoying. And no writer should have as much pull as modern comic book writers have with legacy characters. Like, editorial should be stepping in and telling people what they can and cannot do, and not being there to just kind of hold the writer's hand and pat them on the head and tell them how smart they are all the time. Well, anyway, so then the wedding didn't happen, and that was problematic in the beginning, because it was like, okay, well, Bruce and Selena aren't going to get married, but Batman and Catwoman are. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, huh? And so it was just weird. But then you had like ultra depressed Bruce doing ultra depressed Bruce stuff that nobody wanted to read about. Like, you could have like a couple comics where Bruce is really sad, whatever. But it's just been painful. The Cold Days arc or whatever was not a fan of. And then from there you go into Nightmares, which lasted way too long, and really doesn't have any. I mean, it might, because, Tom King's Tom King, and he'll write a book that seemingly means absolutely nothing, and then in 10 months or 2 years you find out, oh, but it does mean something, because this means this to this, and this is an allegory for this story. Oh, I'm just very intelligent, and this is a very highbrow. No, it's a fucking comic book, guys. And if you want to, my biggest problem with the Tom King run right now is that it's a story that should be like a Black Label or Elseworlds or something that is not a floppy. I think Tom King's storytelling does not work with the floppy bi-weekly or once a month comic book market. And the main reason for that is that every comic should be someone's first comic book. And if some kid picked up one of the last 2 issues of Batman, I don't think they'd ever pick up a Batman comic again. Ever. Because the last 2 issues have been Bat and Cat dressed up like Magnum PI on a beach in Hawaii doing yoga and other things, and talking about their relationship by not talking about the relationship, by talking about the relationship. And who the hell would want to pick that up and read that? The floppy comic book market needs to have that draw and that pull that anyone could come in at any time. The problem I think DC was facing was, after Warren Jokes and Riddles and after the non-wedding, a lot of people were falling off of Batman and saying that they were done. And the problem when you're Tom King having this giant arc, okay, is that if people are done with that comic, they're going to be done for the next couple years until you've told your stupid story. And I know in the groups that I've talked to, this whole Tom King was supposed to write 100 issues, then 105 issues, and then now it's 85 issues. And he's getting this Bat and Cat book for a year. To me, that is a demotion. It means something's wrong. They need to get him off the book. Okay? But some people are like, no, this isn't a demotion at all. This is like them letting him tell the story he wants to tell, and blah, 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 blah. And still, it's not even the 100 issues that he wanted to do anyway. It's, can't remember what the final count's going to be. I think it's like 95 or 96 or something. But it's a problem, and I'm still kind of pissed off at how who was it? Percy was doing Nightwing, and they were going somewhere with that. And then Tom King's like, yeah, I want to shoot Dick in the head to break Batman more. So we're gonna shoot Dick in the head and then be upset about it for like an issue. But really, he's not upset about Dick getting shot. He's upset that Catwoman left him, because that's much more important than like his first son being almost killed and now an amnesiac. It's like the dumbest crap ever. And it's frustrating. But with Batman Day yesterday came some news. So we're getting James Tynion the fourth as the main Batman writer in 2020 in January, with Tony Daniel doing the artwork. Hopefully Tony Daniel can keep up on the now once a month schedule. And I guess Tomasi's still going to be doing Detective Comics. But Dick Grayson's amnesia story will be over, and Dick will be Dick again and not Rick again, or whatever. I don't understand what the hell's going on over there. But so that's kind of cool. James Tynion the fourth was one of my fingers crossed hopes for the new Batman writer, because his Detective Comics run was so big and good as far as like the Bat family. And in reading Detective Comics, this is what my thought's going to be. Detective Comics, I think, is going to be the book that Batman should be, which is the book that is just like a quick couple issue, maybe even a one shot Batman story that anyone could come into and read. And if that's the case, that's fine. When Rebirth started, it was kind of like Batman was the book about Batman, and Detective Comics was the book about the Bat family. And I liked that. That was like a pretty interesting way to do it. And I almost feel like that's going to be switched around now. And if that's the case, then that's the case. I'm just very much looking forward to just having a normal Batman title. And I hope to God they change the Batman logo. Like the moniker that's been on top of the Batman comics of King's Run. I just want something different. I want like a new slate. And Tony Daniel's great, so this should be really good. But I get so bummed out. And like, it's funny because I can't wait to see what like the sales are for the Bat and Cat book that Tom King's gonna do, because I'm sure the first one's gonna sell really, really well. But another thing that's like really frustrating is continuity with Batman, and I have to like just back away and just not care and just go, look, there's like what, like 80 years of Batman stuff I could read and just kind of throw off like what's happening right now. Because between Batman being in the Justice League, which he shouldn't be, if anything, if you want to put Batman in the Justice League, have him be like an Oracle character, like sitting in the Batcave on the computer, letting all the, I don't know, people with actual superpowers who are fighting intergalactic chaos let them do their thing, and you could just Bluetooth them or something, you know. But I know Batman sells for DC, so they want to put them on every goddamn book there is. Another thing that really bothers me too is that I need to look into this, but I heard Red Hood got moved from, and this might have happened a long time ago. I haven't really been keeping up on behind the scenes stuff, but it would make a lot of sense. That Red Hood got moved from Bat Family books to just like a other DC editor, like editorship. So it's not even like in the same like editorial continuity, if that makes any sense. And that just bothers the hell out of me. I still don't know if Catwoman is going to get canceled while she's in a Batman Catwoman book. So that's a whole other thing. But anyway, so Batman Day, hooray. Like, JT4, we're excited. This is a good thing. I think everyone thought it was either going to be like Bendis or just someone off the wall, like that no one was expecting to kind of just shake things up. But I'm glad they're not doing that. I'm glad they're just going with someone who's kind of like a tried and true DC kind of person. So anyway, let me know down below what you think. If I said anything incorrectly, please correct me down below. And what are your thoughts about this? Like, I don't want to get into another goddamn argument about it, but are you digging Tom King's run? If not, when did you fall off of it? Are you excited about Tinian? Are you excited about any of it? Are you excited about the Bat and Cat book? Are you counting down the days to January? Are you digging Tomasi's Detective Comics run? But like at the end of the day, every floppy comic that's out there should be someone's first comic book. And if you give them a bunch of highbrow, trite bologna, no one's going to come back to that book. So if you want to be Tom King, write graphic novels, write Black Label stuff, but stay out of main continuity and stay out of main title books. That's my 2 cents. Bye bye.